Hi, this is Blank Swordsman with Dark Horse Digital Marketing, and we are we're coming at you from a beautiful mountaintop. I don't know if you can see the views behind me. It looks beautiful. And we climbed up this mountain to tell you guys about systems thinking. So, the reason why most of your businesses are ass is because you guys do not do systems thinking. In reality, you're actually just reacting. And so you have an idea for your business, maybe a product or a service, and you're reactive to the market, reactive to your competitors, reactive to just any given day. And basically, if you do that, you're running around with your head cut off like a chicken. And it's chaos, it's not helpful to anybody. So the antidote to that is systems thinking. And so systems thinking is very important, and the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because the Dark Horse method is a product of systems thinking. And so if you are not thinking in the systems, then you will not be able to successfully apply the Dark Horse method to your business, and you will not be able to lift your profits. So one of the biggest things that we got to get you out of the habit of is reactive thinking, and instead we want systems thinking. We create a system that, the best way to describe systems, I would say, is an unrelated example, and that's Jiu Jitsu. And I guess it is related in the sense that Jiu Jitsu is a system, and that is why it's so effective. That is why in the beginning of the UFC, people who use Jiu Jitsu automatically won. And the reason why is because the other fighters, they were reactive, versus the Gracies, they were actually employing systems thinking into their fighting style. And so Jiu-Jitsu breaks down into 4 clean steps. 1, you take your opponent down to the ground. 2, you get past their legs. 3, you pin them, or you sit on their chest, whatever you want to call it. And 4th, you submit them through a choke or an arm lock or a leg lock or something. And so all that to say that Jiu-Jitsu is a science of taking the complex inputs of a violent situation like fighting and eliminating the chaos and eliminating the noise to get to a singular outcome, which is you either submitting your opponent or defeating your opponent in one of the various methods that I mentioned earlier. And so in order to apply the Dark Horse method, it's very similar, where business and war can be compared. They are compared a lot, and I think the main comparison is that you have to apply systems thinking in the sense that you have chaotic inputs, and if you don't have a system, you're going to end up on the back foot, running around crazy, and ultimately you're not as effective as you could be. And most of you guys feel this in your businesses. If you feel stressed out, it's not fun, that's because if you self-examine, you'll probably come to the conclusion that there is some logic to your thinking, but it's not systematic. And so the Dark Horse method is a systematic method, and it breaks down into 10 mechanisms. There's other mechanisms out there, but we're going over the 10 core mechanisms. And so just like in Jiu-Jitsu, there's attacks like submissions and arm bars. There's also other techniques like taking somebody down to the ground, or getting past their legs, or submitting them, and so, or pinning them, is what I meant to say. And so before I go over these 10 mechanisms, I want y'all to understand that they're basically like the techniques to the system, the 10 mechanisms, and they accomplish different things, and they, some of them are not more important because they all work together, because if you can't take down your opponent, then you're never going to rear naked choke them, you know what I'm saying? But if you can't rear naked choke them, you're never going to finish the fight. And so all that to say that the next 10 videos are going to be super important. We're going to go over the mechanisms. We're going to go over what they are, what the purpose of each mechanism is, how they function, and where they fail. And we're going to go over them. We're going to take our time, because If you do not know technique, then you're not going to be able to combine it into a system that can actually help you in your business and lift your profits. And so we do have a systems map, very similar to how Jiu Jitsu breaks down into 4 steps. You take them to the ground, you get past their legs, you pin them, and then you submit them. Very similar process, but in order for you guys to navigate this map and understand and run through this system, you have to understand the 10 different mechanisms. So I don't want this video to be too long, but I just want y'all to understand that systems thinking is far superior to reactive thinking and just reactive being. And not to say that reactions don't happen. I'm not perfect. I'm not a robot. Nobody's a robot. But that is why we build systems, is because we're not robots. So when we build a system, we're able to manage these complex inputs and get that one singular output, which is lifting the profits of your business. It's very important before you guys read the Dark Horse method to kind of understand systems thinking versus being reactive. If you're not a systems thinker, your entire business is going to fall upside down. And it really goes into every single category of your business, from what you post on social media to what inventory you order to where you place your ads. It all comes down to systems thinking, and that's what we're going to show you. So if you're excited about this, if this video resonated with you, there's going to be a link in the Rumble description so that you can get on the waiting list for the Dark Horse method. The Dark Horse method is pretty much the only method that I've seen on the market that basically uses email marketing for the explicit purpose of lifting the profits in your business. So if you want this method, you want to scale your business through email, sign up to get the book. It'll be in the link on Rumble. I'm a new YouTuber, so YouTube is not allowing me to post links in the descriptions, but under the exact same username, Blank Swordsman, on Rumble, you will be able to sign up and be on the waiting list to be the first to get the Dark Horse method. And this video is just a preface, but the 10 mechanisms, that's the body of chapter 3. So if you're excited, you saw, chapter 1 is how we measure your business. Chapter 2 is the factors that increase profits in your business, and chapter 3 will be the mechanisms and how they work. And then chapter 4, we lay out that roadmap on how the mechanisms work and the system that it builds. And then chapter 5, we're going to go over the more common failure modes where people they get the system, they get it, but they are not able to apply it. And so we go over the failure modes in chapter 5. I'm going to cut the video short. It looks like it's starting to pick up wind, but if you like where we're going with the Dark Horse method, you want to be one of the first to lift the profits of your business and scale through email marketing systems, like, follow, subscribe, and most importantly, get on the waiting list so that you can be the first to get the Dark Horse method. And that link is in the description of the Rumble video. So bang the bell,